When a man walks away, most people assume it's weakness. But Sigma males prove the opposite. They don't beg, they don't cling, and they don't play endless games. Their silence and detachment create a level of respect that chasing can never achieve. And here's the brutal truth. Women may not admit it out loud, but they respect men who walk away more than those who stay and beg for attention. In this video, you'll discover why walking away is the Sigma male's ultimate strategy, one that commands respect, flips the power dynamic, and changes everything. Stick with me until the end, because I'll share the most powerful part of this mindset, and I'll ask you a question only true Sigmas can answer. Walking away shows self-worth. When a man walks away, most people assume he's giving up, but for a Sigma male, walking away isn't surrender, it's proof of self-respect. You don't tie your value to anyone's approval. You don't beg, chase, or try to convince someone of your worth. Instead, you send a clear message without saying a single word. I know what I bring to the table, and I don't need to sit where I'm not valued. This mindset shocks people because most are conditioned to fight for validation. Society teaches men to prove themselves, to keep giving until they earn attention, and to beg for a place in someone's life. But when you walk away, you break that script. You show that your peace, your time, and your energy matter more than clinging to a situation that drains you. Walking away flips the dynamic instantly. Suddenly, the person who thought they had the upper hand realizes they don't control you. They expected drama, pleading, or negotiations, but instead they're left with silence. That silence speaks louder than any explanation ever could. It forces them to confront the truth. They misjudged your strength. The reason women respect men who walk away is simple. It shows discipline. It proves you aren't afraid of loss. Most people cling out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear of missing out. But when you walk away with confidence, you're saying you'd rather stand alone with self-respect than stay somewhere that costs you your dignity. And that's the Sigma difference. Your value doesn't rise or fall based on who accepts you. Your worth is internal, not external. By walking away, you prove that you're the one who chooses, not the one waiting to be chosen. Detachment breaks the control game. One of the oldest tricks in manipulation is control through emotional hooks, making you chase, making you prove yourself, and making you believe your value depends on someone else's approval. Fake friends, toxic partners, even manipulative colleagues all rely on this same tactic. They create a push and pull dynamic where you're always reaching for validation. But here's the brutal truth. Sigma males destroy this game the moment they refuse to chase. Detachment is the ultimate weapon because it flips the script. Most people are conditioned to respond emotionally when someone withdraws affection or approval. They panic, beg, or compromise just to restore the connection. That desperation gives manipulators the control they're looking for. But a Sigma doesn't bite. Instead of scrambling to win back attention, he calmly pulls his energy back. That quiet refusal to play exposes the manipulation instantly. Think about how unsettling this is to someone who thrives on control. They expect tears, arguments, or attempts to prove worth. Instead, they're met with silence and distance. No matter how many games they try, jealousy, hot and cold behavior, validation withdrawal, it all collapses when a Sigma doesn't respond. Detachment makes their tactics useless, and that power shift shocks them. Here's the real reason women respect men who master this. Detachment proves strength. It shows you're not ruled by desperation or fear of loss. It demonstrates that your self-worth is unshakable, no matter how much someone tries to test it. And in a world where so many men are quick to chase approval, standing firm in detachment is what sets you apart. By refusing to chase, Sigma males don't just protect themselves, they expose the control game for what it is. And once the illusion is broken, there's no going back. The manipulator loses power, the respect dynamic changes, and the Sigma walks away with his energy intact. Patience creates respect. Silence makes people realize what they've lost. In a world addicted to instant reactions, Sigma males play by a completely different set of rules. When most people get hurt, tested, or disrespected, they rush to respond with arguments, desperate texts, or emotional outbursts. But Sigmas, they go silent. And it's that silence combined with patience that makes people realize the weight of their absence. Patience is power because it denies manipulators the instant gratification they crave. When someone tries to bait you into drama or expects you to chase after them, your refusal to react leaves them unsettled. At first, they may feel confident, thinking they've gained the upper hand, but as time passes, the silence grows heavier. Questions creep in. Did I push too far? Why aren't they reacting? Why don't they need me the way I thought they did? That uncertainty flips the dynamic, and suddenly the one who tried to test or control is the one scrambling for answers. For Sigma males, this patience isn't a tactic for revenge. It's simply how they operate. They understand that real respect can't be forced. It's earned through strength, consistency, and boundaries. By waiting quietly instead of rushing to fix or prove, they teach people a hard lesson. Their presence is valuable, and their absence is even louder. Think about it. When you're always available, always quick to respond, people start taking you for granted. But when you step back and give nothing but silence, people begin to measure what you actually meant in their lives. The void you leave behind becomes the mirror that shows them the truth. This is why patience creates respect. It forces people to slow down and face themselves without the distraction of your energy. And by the time they realize what they've lost, the Sigma has already moved forward, stronger, calmer, and completely in control. Boundaries become non-negotiable. Walking away reinforces that no. For Sigma males, boundaries are not flexible suggestions. They are unshakable rules that protect their peace, energy, and self-respect. While many people say no, but then give in under pressure, a Sigma's no is final. This refusal to bend is what sets them apart, and it's also what shocks and intimidates others. When a Sigma walks away, it isn't done in anger or spite. It's a clear statement that their limits are non-negotiable. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a manipulative friend, or a workplace that demands blind obedience, once those lines are crossed, they don't waste time explaining, defending, or debating. They simply remove themselves. This act of walking away transforms their boundaries from words into actions. And that's where the real power lies. Why is this so unsettling to others? Because most people are used to pushing until they get their way. They expect guilt, arguments, or compromise, but Sigmas deny them that game. By staying firm and silent, they teach people that respect is the only currency that works with them. Anything else, manipulation, control, or pressure, gets ignored. In relationships, this means a Sigma doesn't tolerate disrespect, mind games, or attempts to control their independence. In friendships, they won't entertain betrayal or hidden agendas, and in work environments, they refuse to bow to toxic hierarchies. Their boundaries are not about being difficult. They're about protecting their integrity. Walking away is the ultimate reinforcement of this truth. It sends a message louder than words. If you don't honor their boundaries, you don't get access to them. And once they shut that door, it rarely opens again. This is why Sigmas are respected, even by those who once tried to cross them. Their no isn't just a word. It's a line carved in stone. And anyone who ignores it quickly learns that losing a Sigma's presence is the cost of testing their limits. Walking away is power, not weakness. Women respect men who act, not plead. One of the biggest misconceptions about men is that walking away somehow shows weakness, as if silence or distance means surrender. But for Sigma males, the opposite is true. Walking away is one of the most powerful moves they can make because it proves their value doesn't depend on begging, chasing, or clinging to someone who doesn't respect them. Women recognize this, even if they don't admit it out loud. In fact, what unnerves them most is that Sigmas don't engage in the usual cycle of emotional games. When many men try to argue, explain, or prove their worth, the Sigma simply leaves. That action speaks louder than any explanation ever could. It says, "I know my value. I won't fight for a place where I am not valued." And this command of self-respect creates respect in return. Walking away also shifts the entire balance of power. Instead of showing desperation, Sigmas show discipline. Instead of proving dependence, they show independence. While most men waste energy trying to hold on, Sigmas understand that no connection is worth losing their dignity. And the irony is, that very act of detachment often makes others realize just how much the Sigma's presence meant. In relationships, this is why women respect them, even if it stings in the moment. They see that a Sigma will never tolerate disrespect, half-hearted effort, or manipulation. In friendships and workplaces, the same rule applies. If the environment becomes toxic or draining, a Sigma doesn't complain endlessly. He walks out the door. That kind of strength is rare, and people notice. At the core, walking away is not about rejecting others. It's about honoring yourself. It shows that your peace, your standards, and your future matter more than pleasing someone who doesn't see your worth. And that's why women secretly admire men who walk away without regret. They know it's not weakness, it's power. It filters out the wrong people. The ones who leave weren't meant to stay. One of the most underrated powers of walking away is how it naturally filters your circle. Sigma males understand something most people resist. Not everyone you meet is meant to stay in your life. Some people are temporary, some are opportunistic, and some are only there for what they can gain. By refusing to chase or beg, Sigmas let these people eliminate themselves. Fake friends, manipulative partners, or shallow connections often reveal their true colors the moment they realize the Sigma won't bend. They expect him to compromise, to explain, or to lower his standards. But when he doesn't, they leave. And instead of seeing this as a loss, the Sigma sees it as clarity. Why waste energy holding on to people who were never loyal to begin with? Why try to prove your worth to those who never intended to value it? This filtering process is why the Sigma's circle is small but unshakable. He doesn't chase quantity, he values quality. Those who stay are the ones who truly respect him, who don't need constant validation games, and who can handle his independence without feeling threatened. Everyone else falls away, and that's exactly how it should be. It's not about arrogance, it's about alignment. Walking away doesn't push the right people out, it pushes the wrong ones out. If someone can't respect boundaries, if they mistake silence for weakness, or if they only stick around when it benefits them, then their exit is a blessing, not a tragedy. In the end, walking away ensures the Sigma only keeps people who add real value, respect his space, and can stand beside him without needing control. That's the hidden strength, letting go of those who were never truly meant to stay in the first place. Commands respect without words. Actions speak louder than any explanation. Sigma males understand that real authority doesn't come from long speeches, arguments, or constant justification. It comes from action. And nothing speaks louder than walking away when respect is missing. Unlike most people who try to explain themselves endlessly or negotiate for value, Sigmas know that silence and decisive action make the greatest impact. When a Sigma male chooses to step back, it immediately shifts the dynamic. The person on the other side is left questioning what went wrong, replaying their actions, and realizing that they pushed too far. Without a single word, the Sigma communicates, "I won't be controlled, I won't be disrespected, and I won't beg for space in your life." That message lands harder than any argument could. This is why people often find themselves respecting Sigmas after they've already left. The absence is powerful because it highlights what the Sigma brought to the table: loyalty, consistency, and quiet strength, things most people take for granted until they're gone. And, unlike others who leave a door open for return, Sigmas rarely look back. That finality forces people to reflect in a way no words could ever achieve. Respect earned through action lasts longer than respect demanded through words. Anyone can make promises, but few follow through with boundaries that cost them relationships or opportunities. Sigma males do, and that's why their presence, and even more so their absence, commands attention. In the end, the Sigma's greatest statement isn't spoken at all. It's the act of walking away and proving that their value doesn't need to be argued, defended, or explained. The silence itself becomes the loudest declaration of self-respect. Walking away builds attraction over time. Respect and curiosity grow in your absence. One of the most surprising dynamics of Sigma psychology is that walking away doesn't just protect their peace, it often increases their value in the eyes of others. When most people face conflict or rejection, they chase harder, explain more, or try to prove themselves. But Sigma males do the opposite. They step back, detach, and move forward without hesitation, and paradoxically, this makes people more drawn to them. Why? Because absence creates space for reflection. When a Sigma leaves, people are forced to notice the void. The loyalty, calm energy, and quiet strength they once took for granted suddenly stand out. Curiosity begins to grow. Why didn't he fight to stay? Why isn't he chasing me like everyone else does? That unanswered question becomes more powerful than any words could ever be. The respect also develops over time, because walking away signals strength, not weakness. It shows you value yourself enough not to tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or games. For many, this is shocking. They're used to people begging for validation or chasing after approval. But the Sigma's refusal to play that role flips the dynamic. The one who walked away becomes the one who holds the power. Even months or years later, people often circle back, realizing the depth of what they lost. But by then, the Sigma has usually moved on, building a stronger life in silence. That very independence is what makes them unforgettable. Attraction isn't built by clinging, it's built by showing that your worth stands on its own. In the end, walking away isn't just a defense mechanism, it's a magnet. It leaves people questioning, respecting, and even admiring from a distance. Because true power is felt most when it doesn't need to explain itself. At the end of the day, walking away isn't about ego or games, it's about power. True power, the kind that doesn't beg, doesn't chase, and doesn't settle. Sigma males understand that respect comes from action, not words, and the strongest action of all is the ability to walk away without looking back. That silence, that detachment, that unshakable self-worth, it's what separates the men who are controlled from the men who control their own destiny. Now here's the question only you can answer. When the moment comes, will you beg to stay, or will you walk away and let your silence speak for you? If this video resonated with you, hit subscribe to join the ultra-wise community, where we break down Sigma psychology, silent power, and the strategies that most people will never understand. Don't just watch. Claim your place among those who refuse to be controlled.